When we think of China, our minds often conjure images of immense, bustling cities. We see skylines pierced by towering buildings and ancient temples standing beside futuristic architecture. We picture the Great Wall, a magnificent serpent of stone winding its way across rugged mountains. These are indeed powerful symbols of a nation with a deep and complex history. Yet they tell only a fraction of the story. Beyond these well-trodden paths, far from the familiar narratives, lies a China that remains largely unseen by the outside world. It is a land of profound natural beauty and extraordinary human ingenuity, where nature and people have forged the most surprising and breathtaking relationships. This hidden China is a realm of secrets, a place where entire villages are swallowed by greenery, and roads float upon the surface of vast lakes. It is a world where industrial scars can, over time, transform into landscapes of otherworldly beauty. These are not the stories one typically hears. They are tales whispered on the wind in remote valleys and reflected in the still waters of forgotten lakes. To uncover them is to embark on a journey of discovery, to peel back the layers of a country we think we know and find something altogether new and astonishing. It is a reminder that even in our modern, interconnected world, there are still wonders waiting to be found, if only we know where to look. In this exploration, we shall venture into 3 such places, each one a testament to the intricate dance between human endeavor and the relentless power of the natural world. We will journey to an abandoned fishing village, now a green ghost on a lonely island. We will travel across a miraculous road that appears and disappears with the seasons. And we will visit a salt lake in the heart of a desert, whose vibrant colors are a beautiful yet deceptive consequence of human activity. Each location offers a unique perspective on how landscapes are shaped, lost, and sometimes unexpectedly reborn in the most remarkable ways. These hidden wonders challenge our perceptions. They ask us to look beyond the headlines and the tourist brochures, to see a more nuanced and surprising reality. They reveal that China's greatest treasures are not always its oldest or its grandest. Sometimes they are the quiet, overlooked corners where nature has been allowed to return, or where human innovation has worked in quiet harmony with the environment. Let us now begin our journey into this unseen world, a world of incredible stories and breathtaking beauty that has, for too long, remained in the shadows. On the island of Shengshan, a short journey from the sprawling metropolis of Shanghai, lies a place where time seems to have stopped. This is the village of Hutuan. It was once a thriving fishing community, home to more than 2,000 souls. Its stone houses, built sturdily into the steep hillsides, overlooked the East China Sea. The sounds of daily life would have echoed through its narrow, winding alleyways. The calls of fishermen returning with their catch, the laughter of children playing, and the murmur of conversation carrying on the salty air. It was a community bound together by the sea and the challenging landscape it called home. But the very thing that gave Hutuan its dramatic beauty also sealed its fate. The village was remote, and its terrain unforgiving. As the years passed, life became increasingly difficult. The small harbor could not accommodate the larger fishing vessels needed to compete in a modern world. Access to education, healthcare, and markets on the mainland was a constant struggle. So, in the early 1990s, the residents began to leave. They moved to nearby towns in search of better opportunities, leaving their homes and their history behind. By 2002, the village was officially depopulated, and an eerie silence fell over the empty streets. Once the people departed, nature began its patient, relentless work of reclamation. What happened next is nothing short of extraordinary. Thick, green tendrils of ivy and climbing vines began to creep over the stone walls. They wound their way through empty window frames and pushed up through the flagstone paths. Slowly, house by house, the entire village was enveloped in a blanket of green. The sharp angles of rooftops softened, and the gray stone walls disappeared beneath a living tapestry of leaves. Hutuan was transformed from an abandoned settlement into a fairy tale world, a green ghost village consumed by the very wilderness it was carved from. Today, Hutuan stands as a powerful and hauntingly beautiful monument to the resilience of the natural world. It is a living sculpture, constantly changing with the seasons. From a distance, it looks not like a village at all, but like a series of verdant, oddly shaped hills. It is only upon closer inspection that the ghostly outlines of houses, paths, and stairways emerge from beneath the foliage. The village is a poignant reminder that no matter how permanent our creations may seem, nature is always waiting in the wings, ready to soften our edges and eventually to take back what was once hers. This silent green world is a spectacle of decay and rebirth all at once. In this silent, verdant world, one human presence remained long after the others had gone. His name is Mr. Chu, and for many years he was the sole official resident of Hutuan. While his neighbors sought new lives elsewhere, Mr. Chu chose to stay. He could not bring himself to leave the home his family had known for generations. He became the village's unofficial caretaker, a lonely guardian watching over the slow, green transformation of his world. His days were quiet, marked by the rhythm of the tides and the rustle of leaves where voices once were. He kept his own small patch of land clear, a tiny island of human order in a sea of encroaching wilderness. Mr. Chu's story is one of profound connection to place. He witnessed the village in its bustling heyday and watched its slow, quiet decline. He saw the ivy first appear, a small vine here, a creeping tendril there, and then watched in awe as it consumed everything around him. He did not see it as an invasion, but as a natural succession, a new chapter in the island's story. He became a living link to Hutuan's past, his memories holding the stories of the families who once filled these now silent homes. He maintained the paths for as long as he could, a solitary figure against the overwhelming force of nature's return. As tales of the ghost village spread, intrepid travelers and photographers began to arrive. They came to witness the surreal beauty of a village swallowed by nature. And there to greet them, often with a warm smile, was Mr. Chu. He welcomed these visitors, sharing stories of the village that was. He would point out where the school once stood, now just a mound of green, or the location of the old market square, its stones barely visible beneath a carpet of moss. He was no longer just a resident, he became an ambassador for this strange and beautiful place, the human heart of the Green Ghost Village. Although he has since moved to a nearby town for easier living in his later years, Mr. Chu's spirit remains intertwined with Hutuan. His decision to stay for so long gave the village a story that goes beyond its visual appeal. It became a tale of loyalty, solitude, and the deep, enduring bond between a person and their home. His presence transformed Hutuan from a mere abandoned ruin into a place with a soul. He reminds us that even in the most desolate and overgrown of places, human stories persist, adding a layer of poignant depth to the spectacle of nature's quiet, inexorable victory. Now we travel inland to Jiangxi province in the country's southeast. Here we find Poyang, China's largest freshwater lake. It is a place of immense ecological importance, a vital stopping point for hundreds of thousands of migratory birds, including the critically endangered Siberian crane. The lake is a dynamic, ever-changing body of water. Its size and shape are dictated by the seasons. During the summer wet season, fed by heavy rains and the mighty Yangtze River, the lake swells to cover an area of nearly 4,000 square kilometers. But in the dry winter, it shrinks dramatically, revealing vast mudflats and grassy plains where water once stood. This seasonal transformation has long posed a significant challenge for the local communities living around the lake's shores. For generations, travel between the towns and villages was difficult and often impossible during the high water season. Ferries were the only option, but they were slow, unreliable, and often dangerous in bad weather. The journey to the nearest city, Nanchang, could take hours, This isolation hindered economic development and made access to essential services a constant struggle. The people of Poyang needed a connection, a reliable link to the outside world that could withstand the lake's dramatic whims. The solution that engineers devised is as elegant as it is ingenious: the Yangwu Highway. It is a road, but not just any road. This is a road that appears to float on the water. Stretching for over 5 kilometers, it connects the ancient Duchang County with the city of Wuchang. For much of the year, when the lake's waters are high, the road sits just centimeters above the surface. From a distance, cars seem to be gliding miraculously across the water, leaving gentle wakes behind them. It is a surreal and beautiful sight, a ribbon of asphalt suspended between the vast expanse of water and the sky. This floating highway has become an attraction in its own right, drawing tourists who come to experience the strange sensation of driving across a lake. But its true importance lies in what it has done for the local people. It has cut travel times from hours to mere minutes. It provides a lifeline, ensuring that communities are no longer cut off by the rising waters. The Yangwu Highway is a remarkable piece of engineering, but it is also much more. It is a symbol of human ingenuity working in concert with the rhythms of nature, creating a connection that is both practical and profoundly beautiful. The magic of the Yangwu Highway lies not in defying nature, but in adapting to it. The road's designers understood that trying to build a conventional bridge or causeway high above the seasonal floodwaters would be immensely expensive and ecologically disruptive. Such a structure would cast long shadows, alter water flow, and potentially interfere with the migratory paths of the birds that depend on the lake. The challenge really was to create a permanent connection that felt temporary, a structure that could coexist with the lake's natural cycle rather than dominate it. This required a completely different way of thinking about road construction. The secret to its floating appearance is a design that allows the road to be submerged. It is built on a low foundation, intentionally designed to sit just above the water level during the dry season. As the summer rains arrive and the lake begins to swell, the water rises to meet the road, eventually flowing over it completely. For around 2 months of the year, the Yangwu Highway simply disappears beneath the surface of Lake Poyang. This is not a design flaw. It is the core of its brilliant design. When the road is submerged, boat traffic can pass over it, and the lake's ecosystem remains largely undisturbed. This seasonal disappearance is a key part of its ecological harmony. By allowing the lake to reclaim the space for part of the year, the highway minimizes its long-term impact on the natural habitat. It avoids creating a permanent barrier that could disrupt fish migration or the flow of nutrients within the lake. Furthermore, the construction itself was carefully managed to protect the delicate environment. The materials used and the methods of construction were chosen to limit pollution and disturbance to the lakebed, ensuring that this vital habitat for the Siberian crane and other wildlife was preserved for future generations. The Yangwu Highway, therefore, represents a profound shift in engineering philosophy. It is not about conquering nature with concrete and steel, but about finding a way to work within its existing patterns. It is a lesson in humility and respect for the environment. The road serves its human purpose for most of the year, and then gracefully gives way when the lake needs its space. This clever, adaptive solution provides a vital link for local communities while honoring the wild heart of Lake Poyang, proving that human progress and ecological preservation do not have to be mutually exclusive goals. Our final destination takes us to the arid, windswept plains of the Qinghai Tibet Plateau, near the city of Danxia. Here, in the vast emptiness of the Gobi Desert, lies a landscape of such startling and unexpected color that it seems to belong to another planet. This is Danxia Emerald Lake. It is not one single body of water, but a collection of thousands of pools, ponds, and lakes of varying sizes, separated by winding paths of crystallized salt. Each pool shimmers with a different hue, from the deepest emerald green and sapphire blue to brilliant turquoise and milky white. The effect is, honestly, just mesmerizing. A dazzling mosaic of color set against the pale, dusty earth of the desert. This extraordinary place is not, however, an entirely natural wonder. Its origins are industrial. The lake is, in fact, a salt flat that was once the site of a large potassium carbonate mine. For decades, minerals were extracted from the brine beneath the desert floor. The process involved pumping the mineral-rich water into evaporation ponds on the surface. As the water evaporated under the intense desert sun, it left behind concentrated deposits of salt and other minerals. The mining operations eventually ceased, but the ponds they created were left behind, and a remarkable transformation began to take place. The incredible variety of colors is the result of a chemical and biological lottery. The precise shade of each pool is determined by a unique combination of factors. The concentration of minerals like potassium, magnesium, and lithium in the water plays a significant role. So too does the presence of different species of algae and bacteria that thrive in these highly saline environments. These microorganisms produce pigments that can turn the water vibrant shades of green, yellow, or even pink. The depth of the pool and the angle of the sun also influence how the colors are perceived, creating a constantly shifting kaleidoscopic landscape. What was once an industrial site, a scar on the desert landscape, has been unintentionally repurposed by nature and chemistry into a place of surreal beauty. The winding salt paths that crisscross the lake are the remnants of the mining infrastructure, now serving as walkways for awestruck visitors. It is a classic example of an anthropogenic landscape, one shaped by human activity, that has acquired a new aesthetic value entirely separate from its original purpose. Emerald Lake is a paradox, a beautiful byproduct of industry, and a testament to the strange and unpredictable ways in which human intervention and natural processes can combine to create something truly unique. The beauty of Emerald Lake is undeniable, but it is a beauty with a hidden edge. The very qualities that make it so visually stunning also make it a hazardous environment. The water in these pools is not ordinary water. It is a highly concentrated brine, far saltier than the ocean. This extreme salinity means the water is incredibly corrosive. Any metal objects, from jewelry to electronic devices like cameras or phones, can be quickly damaged if they fall into the pools. The water is also toxic and completely unsuitable for drinking, a harsh reminder that this is an industrial landscape, not a natural oasis. Visitors who walk the salt paths must do so with care. The crystalline salt crust that forms the walkways can be sharp and brittle. In some areas, what appears to be a solid path might be a thin crust over deep, sticky mud. A misstep could lead to a fall into the caustic brine, which can cause skin irritation. The landscape, while mesmerizing, demands respect. It is a place where one must tread carefully, constantly aware of the powerful chemistry at play just beneath the beautiful surface. The dazzling colors are a warning as much as they are an invitation, a sign of an extreme environment where few things can survive. Despite these dangers, the allure of Emerald Lake is irresistible. Photographers and travelers are drawn to this remote corner of the Gobi Desert to capture its otherworldly scenery. The high mineral content makes the water incredibly dense and buoyant, and on still days, the pools act as perfect mirrors. They reflect the vast desert sky, the distant mountains, and the passing clouds with flawless clarity. The contrast between the vibrant, jewel-toned water and the pale, arid landscape that surrounds it is breathtaking. It is a photographer's dream, a place where every angle offers a new and stunning composition of color, light, and texture. This juxtaposition of beauty and danger is what makes Emerald Lake so compelling. It is not a gentle, welcoming landscape. It is harsh, chemical and artificial in its origins. Yet, it has produced a spectacle of color that rivals any natural phenomenon. It forces us to reconsider our definition of beauty in nature. It shows that wonder can be found in the most unexpected of places, even in the remnants of industrial activity. Emerald Lake is a powerful reminder that the story of a landscape is often more complex than it first appears. A beautiful, toxic, and utterly unforgettable place. The stories of Hutuan, the Yangwu Highway, and Emerald Lake are threads in a much larger tapestry of China's hidden wonders. Each one tells a unique story about the relationship between people and their environment, but together they paint a picture of a country far more diverse and surprising than its common stereotypes suggest. These places defy easy categorization. They are not purely natural, nor are they entirely man-made. Instead, they exist in the fascinating space in between, where human history and the forces of nature have become inextricably intertwined. They are hybrid landscapes, each with its own incredible story to tell. In Hutuan, we see a story of retreat and reclamation. Here, humanity stepped back, and nature surged forward to create something hauntingly beautiful. The village is a powerful symbol of nature's ability to heal and transform our abandoned spaces into living art. The Yangwu Highway, on the other hand, tells a story of adaptation and harmony. It is a marvel of human engineering, but one that succeeds because it respects and works with the natural rhythms of Lake Poyang. It is a story of progress that does not seek to conquer nature, but to coexist with it, a lesson in thoughtful and sensitive innovation. Emerald Lake offers yet another narrative, one of accidental beauty. It is the unintentional consequence of industrial activity, a chemical process that has transformed a functional mining site into a place of surreal, aesthetic wonder. It challenges our ideas of what is natural and what is artificial, showing that beauty can emerge from the most unlikely of origins. Here, the human touch did not retreat or adapt. It simply left behind the ingredients for a new and startling kind of landscape to be born. It is a story of transformation, where an industrial scar has become a celebrated spectacle. These three places, so different from one another, showcase the complex and varied ways in which humanity and the environment interact. From the quiet victory of nature in an abandoned village, to the brilliant engineering that floats on a seasonal lake, to the chemical artistry of a desert salt flat, they reveal a China that is constantly surprising. They are testaments to solitude, like the story of Mr. Chu, to innovation that serves both people and wildlife, and to the strange, unpredictable beauty that can arise from our industrial footprint. They are stories of wonder, hidden in plain sight. The world is vast, and our understanding of it is often shaped by the stories we are told most frequently. For a country as immense and ancient as China, the narrative is often dominated by its economic power, its sprawling cities, and its iconic historical landmarks. While these are important, they are but a single chapter in a book of infinite pages. As we have seen in the green-shrouded lanes of Hutuan, on the floating tarmac of the Yangwu Highway, and across the jewel-toned pools of Emerald Lake, there is always more to discover. There is a hidden heart to China that beats with a different rhythm. This journey has been a glimpse into that other China, a world that exists beyond the headlines and the guidebooks. It is a world where nature's power and human stories are woven together in the most unexpected ways. It reminds us that discovery is not just about finding places that no one has ever seen before. It is also about seeing familiar places in a new light, and about seeking out the stories that have been overlooked. The true spirit of exploration lies in the willingness to look beyond the obvious, to question our assumptions, and to find wonder in the quiet, forgotten corners of our world. These hidden wonders are not just curiosities. They are important reminders of the complex and often beautiful relationship we have with our planet. They show us that nature can reclaim what we abandon, that our ingenuity can work in harmony with the environment, and that even our industrial activities can, by chance, create something of extraordinary beauty. They encourage a more nuanced view, urging us to appreciate the intricate details and surprising paradoxes that define so many of the world's landscapes. They are invitations to dig deeper and to explore with an open and curious mind. So, the next time you think of China, perhaps you will picture more than just the Great Wall or the Forbidden City. Perhaps you will imagine a village being hugged by a forest, a road that glides on water, or a desert lake painted with the colors of a dream. These are the stories that await those who are willing to venture off the beaten path. They are proof that China, like any great and ancient land, is a place of endless surprises, a vast and varied country whose deepest and most wonderful secrets are still waiting to be discovered. The journey is far from over,